Car meditation, car meditation. This one I'm gonna title my training secret. I was leaving the gym after training a client, and a young guy I've been talking to for a while. He just real cool, laid back guy. Asked me a couple of questions one time or another. He came up to me and said, man, I'm about to get certified. I said, oh, straight up? I said, in training? He said, yeah. He said, man, I Googled you. He said, man, what's like, he's like, I want to start like going into people's houses and stuff. And I was like, I said, yeah. I said, you got to kind of build up to that. I said, you can. I said, I'm not frowning against it, but I said, it's like you got to get a rapport with people. And I said, and professionalism is got to be like top notch. And I said, now you can advertise for that, but I would say, kind of build your bones, in the gym, in maybe even buildings or facilities or something like that, and then kind of, shoot for that. Not saying put it out the window for now, but I said, kind of build up, and I said that, and if you need knowledge and training, I said, you got to realize when you go into people's homes, everybody's home's not the same. People don't have equipment. It's like, it's things of that nature. So I said, kind of build yourself up a little bit. He's like, oh man, thanks. And he was like, I Googled you, man. He was like, man, you've been doing this a long time. I said, yeah. I said, don't remind me. And he said, but what's the secret? What's your secret? And I told him, it's our secret. Never teach the Wu-Tang. Nah, no, just joking. But I actually told him, I said, my secret with working with clients all this time is I never forget the personal aspect of training. I never forget the personal aspect that I'm working with a person, a human being. And I said, and two, I already see them great. When I was a competitive athlete, I would tell my teammates, see it done already. Whatever lifts or attempts we was doing, see it done already. I already see anybody who walks in front of me for training great already. I see them at their highest potential already. And my goal is to get them to what I envision and what they envision for themselves. I want my vision of where I see them as being great and their vision. They both here. And the goal is to get here. And if we get even greater than here, God bless it. But that's my goal, is to get them to the greatness that I see within them. I believe in every person that I work with. Every person. I believe they got heart. I believe they got will. I believe they got strength. I believe they got power. And only reason it may be difficult at times is because they haven't tapped into it yet. And that's my goal. I may be the carpenter, I may be the builder, but I'm nothing without the tool of that client. That client is what I need to make them great. That person is what I need to make them great. That's my secret. Fight for your life.